for the Outlaws this year, is Steve going out with Cody?
We're still working on them details.
I'm trying to pry it out.
Yeah, I'm keeping Steve on board. The kid, he is tremendous. Steve is a great worker. They're working on the midgets right now. We're putting 2 midgets together, one for Cody and one for Scrub for the Chili Bowl. We're doing that. Steve's going to work on them simulators. We're waiting for the schedule to come out for the Outlaws, and then we may come home and race here locally in the '89 car.
That way you don't get penalized.
Exactly. You can't race, unfortunately, you can't race at a track that doesn't sanction the Outlaws in the 91 car. That doesn't mean that when Cody comes back, they're not trying things that they're going to take back, and work on Kasey's car with. But to the most part, we're just going to work when Cody has that scheduling right now.
This season, you guys traveled more, went out to Eldora, you guys, New York. You even went to Canada, am I?
Yes.
All right.
The Canada deal was because Glenn Sires, who owns that Oscar Weekend thing, met Cody at the Chili Bowl last year and asked him if you show up, we want you to come to race when the Outlaws come there, and if you come, I'll buy you a suit. Well, Cody, right away he doesn't think about anything. He just says, sure. Well, Glenn Sires goes up and buys him a brand new suit. It's delivered the next week. So it was
on the hook.
Yeah, Cody better be at Oscar Weekend. Yeah. So, but it all worked out well. I'm telling you, the more you're able to run with them guys, the more you learn. Just like I said earlier, when you skip the 358 class and you go and learn, when you go and run against Joey Saldana or Steve Kinzer or Johnny Schatz, you learn so much from them guys, and interact. And Cody's a good kid and can walk down that pit and talk to anybody,
I've seen
and
that.
learn so much.
I know. I surprised him one night at Lincoln. He was just sitting on the tire, and I got the camera out. And I started just filming him sitting there, and he's sort of looking at me. Okay, who's this? What's this weirdo doing? And when I got done, I walked over and I talked to him. He goes, "Oh, okay, that's cool. You ever need anything? Just let me know. You're more than welcome over here anytime." And just watching him, I mean, he interact with people and the fans. I know my little niece loves him to death. So
well, I begged Justin to utilize him while he was here, not knowing that he was going to leave this year. But if the tracks would use someone like Cody, and I'm just saying any young kid, like your promotion, get them young kids to want to come to that racetrack. Get them young girls. So what if you're using Cody? Bring them girls and bring them young kids to this track because they're our future. Without them wanting to come back, I don't want to have to be dragging my kid to the track.
Right.
This would be, and I've done what I've could to get him interacted in community things, and Cody has done so well with that. Raising money for so many things this year, especially this year. I mean,
York baseball,
the Revolutionary. We won the Summer Nationals. We didn't get home till 4:30 in the morning. That kid's at Central High School at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, trying to raise $2,000 for York Boys League because their helmets are outdated and they didn't have no money coming in. Stuff like that. The other week he was racing in California. He was leaving Friday or Wednesday afternoon. Wednesday morning from 7 to 10, he's at Dover Junior High for them hours, telling kids to stay in school and go for their dreams. Little things like that.
I'll have to ask my niece. My niece goes to Dover.
Dover Junior High.
I have to ask her about that. I know you guys did. Funny story. You guys did the breast cancer thing for.
Raised $5,000.
And you were donating whoever won the raffle.
They raffled off kisses, and guys were buying kisses.
I heard there was one in general that bought quite a few.
Yes.
And had Cody a little nervous.
Cody was nervous, and ended up being a 15-year-old girl, and she walked up, and Cody says, how would you like it? She says, I want all lips. It was pretty neat night.
I think I'd have paid extra.
$5,000. That's another family that's a great family, the Godfrey family. Just tremendous people. Put a lot of effort in that car. Still got that car. We may race that car again. The pink car. They kept that car just for Cody, and
that's cool.
That was a really cool thing that the whole Godfrey family did.
Well, that just something popped into my head. There was guys when Susky was running. There were drivers that said stuff about, we don't want to go race for less money. We want to race. We don't want to show them that we're willing to go race for less money. Now you got other drivers doing that. They race for the 360s for less purse. Does that worry somebody like you that you're willing? Hey, we're showing you we'll come race for less money.
I don't. We're that, and the biggest complainer of that was Fred, because we had bought a 360 motor and we were going to support that ASC thing. We were going to race there. We ended up selling that motor, just out of respect for all these guys complaining about that. The guys that are making a living off of this is the ones that are making a percentage of the earnings. Now Cody's in that position right now. Cody will race any day regardless of what it is.
He's a racer.
Exactly. and Fred, for telling me he wouldn't race for less money, after I sold the 360 motor, he ends up doing the exact opposite of what he told us
he drives for
do.
Elmer.
Yep, exactly.
At the 360 races. I know. I read that never even dawned on me until I read it in Sprint Car and Midget, and I was like, wait a minute, that's true. He did say that one time.
Yep. Unfortunately, if the track is taking money that they're making and they're putting it back in the track for improvements and for safety and all that, I have no problem with what we're making, in the purse. If they're taking that money and they're not utilizing it or putting it in their pocket, then I have an issue with that. Not because I want my kid to make more money on his percent or I want to make more money for the truck, the car, but in racing, you're never going to make money racing. Right. Unfortunately, you're either going to be in it as a hobby or you're going to be in it as someone that's interested. In my part, it was because my son was in it, and I did everything to support him in that, just like send him to college. I gave every effort I could to give him not only the best equipment, but the best people, and then put him where he needed to be so people would notice him. But you're going to have the Kleins or the Stewarts that their passion was racing. Right. So they're going to put it in there. Unfortunately, the drivers, took away a lot of that with their percentage, being paid drivers. But
right. Then you got your mechanics that are paid to work on the car.
Yep. But you're always going to have the hobby guy, and you're always going to have the guy that's enthused because that's a sport that he loves. And you're never going to get them two to meet in the middle.
There's never a way you'll be able to find a balance with the handicapping and stuff like that to satisfy the big teams and the little teams. Somebody's going to end up feeling screwed.
Yep, always. The guy that's doing it is because he loves the sport. He's going to put everything in it to make his team the best. The only person that's going to feel that he's being shorthanded is the guy that's driving that's getting paid on the wages. But hey, if you're working at McDonald's and you don't like $7.50 an hour, you go find another job.
Yeah, go to Burger King where they're paying
$8. So.
Yeah, Lord knows I know all about that.
Yep.
Now that Cody is going full-time with the Outlaws, what do you think Cody needs to improve upon when he starts, when he gets out there? What are things you're looking at and say, Cody, this is what you need to work on?
If he can keep the same head and mind that he has kept in the last 3 years by his drive, I mean, if he's going to want it every night, you can't go to any one of them tracks, whatever it is, 80, 90 races, and not want it each night. His biggest obstacle this year is going to be different tracks, different surfaces. He's just going to have to, hopefully, Joey and him get along enough to be able to get some input each night, and whoever's the crew guy. But his biggest thing is wanting that every night, and I hope I'm around him long enough that I can keep my foot up his ass to keep him wanting it every night.
Well, don't get complacent.
Exactly. Don't just feel that we're going to go there and do 25 laps and whatever we're going to do tomorrow. He needs to want it every night.
Yeah, as long as he doesn't get wore out with the.
And I hope this being with Kasey's is a family oriented organization, and I hope that has the same thing that we had being a family here. Kasey's heart's in sprint car racing because it was his route, but he's in it because it's employment for everyone in his family. His mom, his dad, his sister, his brother. It's everything. It's a good family organization. They're together every weekend. They're doing things together, and they all still have the drive. I mean, every night that they go to that racetrack, they're still wanting to win that race.
Well, they got the 9 car hooked up.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. And then it's only going to get better because Kasey's, the new shop and what Kasey's put, behind in that shop. It's going to be pretty good for them guys.
As long as Cody doesn't go out and start beating the 9, I'm sure they'll
I don't think Joey might be upset about that, and that's Joey's